might seem crazy what I'm about to say.
First of all, can you just give us some background about how your teams use the team professional growth plan?
Okay, so we meet together as teams in PLCs to start on the team professional growth plan. And our district has created a form that we can fill out that helps guide the process a little bit. So it starts out asking what the current reality is in the classroom, what kind of things they wish their students could do better, and what kind of things they might need to do as teachers to help facilitate that in happening. And then we look at the Utah teaching standards and see if we were perfect at one of those teaching standards, what would our students be able to do better? Would they be able to do this thing that we want them to be able to do? And so they go through and they pick that.
So they're visualizing what their ideal, their desired reality would be within that specific standard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How, if we're perfect at this standard, if we're doing everything that this in the highly effective column of this standard, what are our students going to be able to do better? What are we going to be able to do better as teachers? And then what support will we need to be able to make that happen?
What does that do for your teams what do you see happening?
We generally see a lot of really great discussion about, well, we're already doing this, but maybe we could do this better. Wow, if we pulled this in, that would probably really be great for what we are trying to accomplish with our teams. And then at PLCs, we see them talking about it. They're working on it together. We've asked them to add it to their agenda in their PLC so that it's just right under their norms, so they kind of read through it each week. And then I have also added it to all of our EYE CALs.
EYE meaning the new teacher program, entry years enhancements. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then I've just added it at the top of their CAL. I've added their team professional growth plan and their ILP so that as we go through their collaborative assessment log together and talk about what's working and what their next steps are, that they can tie those back to their goals.
Okay. How well do their decision of what they want to focus on, how well does it fit into the school focus or the school priorities that you've established, that your principals established for the school?
That's a good question. I think because we're using the Utah teaching standards, that they kind of all fit in with what we've established for the school. But at our beginning of the year meetings, our principal goes through her 3 big ideas that she wants. And so the teachers kind of have that in their minds already, and they know what they're trying to work on in their grade level.
So how does this change your role as the coach? How does it enhance your effectiveness?
Well, I think it makes it easier to get into, especially veteran teacher classrooms, because they'll sometimes say, can you come in and observe on this thing within our team professional growth plan? Or we need some examples for engagement. And so I can go model engagement and then go in and observe them doing the engagement activities in their classroom and take the data for them. And then we can meet together and talk about that. So.
Gives a natural entry point, especially for your veterans.
Well, before we had the team professional growth plan, I really only went into veteran teachers' classrooms to observe and take data if the principal had asked me to for certain things, or if the whole school was doing an observation on something and everybody had to do it. Mm-hmm. And now it seems like I'm getting more teachers inviting me in to do those things.
Interesting. Teacher-initiated rather than administrative-initiated professional learning.
Yeah, for the veteran teachers. The teachers, the new teachers, I'm in there all the time anyway. So.
Because they already have goals.
Yes.
And so this is giving the veterans a way of doing collaboratively what you're doing one-on-one with the new teachers.
Yes.
That's awesome. How has this enhanced your partnership with your principal? Mm-hmm. Okay.
So while they're talking, I'm writing. So I do all the writing so that they don't have to think, they can just talk. I fill it out for them. And then at the end, I kind of paraphrase. So this is what we came up with. Is that what you're thinking? And then we go from there. So the principal can look at those anytime and see what the team professional growth plans are, but also where they're written on their PLC page. Anytime we're in PLCs and they bring it up, it's very easy to bring into their conversation. Like one of our team really wanted to focus on assessment and data this year. And so it's easy to look at that and say, how are we meeting this goal within what you're doing in creating CFAs, in analyzing student work together and those type of things. So she can see what they're working on, what their goals are.
So she helps those teams make that connection between their goals and the school goals. Mm-hmm. So there's that and kind of two-way accountability.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay. Our teams like to use it more so that they can go in and observe each other, and they've got something to do, but they've got a goal that they're going in for. So they're saying, I really want to see how you're doing assessment in your classroom or how it's working or how you're pulling in exit tickets and why that's working. And so then they've got that spot that they can start from where they're. So if I'm just doing a walkthrough, it gives me something that I know they want to work on. So when I'm leaving my positive comments, it can be based on something that they.
It's like a long-term pre-conference.
Yeah.
So you've got that established already when you walk in.
But I know that when they can get in there and talk about it, and they're seeing commonalities across all the classrooms, and they're like, this is not just me this is happening with. That's hard in every room. It's maybe this group of kids. Maybe we did something different this year, and that's why this is happening. And looking at those kind of things, then they can start drawing conclusions for how they can change it to make it better. When you're setting your individual goals, it's yourself in your classroom. When you're working with your team, you can see it's not just me. And I have this group that I can work with to reach this goal.
It's interesting because it moves it from.
Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a